Hey everyone, Daniel and Chris here from IGN. Now today the nominations for the 87th Annual Academy Awards have been announced, and we're just going to go through all the main categories and basically, do we agree with what's nominated?
Yep.
Has anything particular been missed out?
Yeah, a few big snubs.
Yeah, some in there.
Some good news, some bad news. Yeah, so I have the information here. Grand Budapest Hotel leads the way with 9 nominations.
Yeah, a lot.
My favourite film of last year.
Yeah,
so
I'm saying towards the close of 2014, you're like,
Yeah.
that was the best film of 2014 if you missed it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, it's done really well. And it did well in the BAFTAs as well.
It did. So that got 9 nominations. But let's start with Best Picture.
Okay.
So Best Picture, it's 8 this year. There can be up to 10.
It fluctuates, doesn't it?
It's very random. It's
I think
normally
they should
9.
need to decide and
Yeah.
pick a number and stick by it.
Because it's 8 this year, and there's a couple that have missed out, and you think, well, why didn't they make it 9 or 10? So anyway, here are the 8. American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. So, American Sniper, a bit of a surprise?
Yeah, I really don't like American Sniper
I know
very
you're not a
much.
fan.
And I just think it's kind of a muddled biopic, if that's what it's meant to be. If it's meant to be an anti-war film, I think it drops the ball on that. It's quite a muddled film. I know you haven't seen it yet. But I'm not a huge fan of it. But I think American Sniper is the one film out of all these nominations. I think it's nominated in a lot of categories.
It is.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it wins none of them. It's kind of, that is a narrative that happens in the Oscars. Film gets nominated for a lot of awards, but ends up winning none. And I think that might be this year's.
Yeah. A film that we're really pleased to see on there that might not have made it is Whiplash.
Yeah.
You know, that was the one you were thinking, oh, please. You know, you're willing that one because it's the smallest movie of all the films nominated, but it's absolutely
I love Whiplash.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's great, tense. It's quite a tense movie.
Yeah,
some great performances as well.
So pleased that Whiplash is on the list, but the ones that missed out, I think Foxcatcher is the biggest film that missed out. I think a lot of people would expected to see that in there. Mr. Turner, very popular over in the UK, although it actually missed out in the BAFTAs as well. But Mr. Turner has had real critical acclaim, and Gone Girl as well is sometimes kind of a big blockbustery kind of movie. Makes
big director as well.
Yeah,
of course.
But that missed out. And then Best Director, it's Inarritu for Birdman, Linklater for Boyhood, Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher, which is why it's strange it didn't make.
That's always a weird, though, those two categories, best film, best director.
Yeah, they should match more, shouldn't they? Wes Anderson for Grand Budapest and Morton Tilden for Imitation Game. So one thing I was wondering this year is if maybe Grand Budapest wins Best Picture, but Linklater wins Best Director. In the way that last year, the technical achievement of Gravity won it the Best Director Oscar, but 12 Years a Slave won Best Picture because it was probably the best film of the year. And I wonder if the technical achievement of Boyhood will win it a Director Oscar rather than a picture.
I think that's what you've got to remember. Ultimately, this comes down to people voting, and people like to maybe balance things out and have a certain rationale when they're picking the winners. And it's very easy to share those categories out, I think, sometimes. And also Linklater's, as director, it's an achievement. It's kind of he's realised that vision.
Yeah. And Selma's been making a late surge, actually, for Best Picture. But, again, the director of that one hasn't been nominated, Ava DuVernay, so that's a bit of a surprise. On to Best Actor, which seems to be the most controversial of the categories. We've got Steve Carell, Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch, Michael Keaton and Eddie Redmayne. All good performances. Maybe Bradley Cooper's slight surprise that he made it.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best things in American Sniper, but still, I'm still surprised to see him in that category.
But it's who missed out, really. Jake Gyllenhaal for Nightcrawler, Ralph Fiennes for Grand Budapest Hotel, and David Oyelowo for Selma. All three of those seem like nailed-on nominations, really. So
I'm sad to see Ralph Fiennes. I guess it's because it's harder sometimes to get a comedic nomination.
Yeah.
I know, like, Keaton's in there, but obviously Fiennes is doing a very comedic performance. I think that's kind of overlooked sometimes in favour for more dramatic roles.
Yeah, and it's kind of broad comedy as well, isn't it? Whereas Keaton, he's a tortured. It's a tortured comic, isn't it? Really. So yeah, that was a big surprise, I think. Best Actress, Marion Cotillard, Felicity Jones, Julianne Moore, Rosamund Pike, and Reese Witherspoon. So Jennifer Aniston, maybe the one that missed out for Cake. But yeah, I think most of those were pretty expected. Although Gone Girl didn't receive a huge amount of nominations, I think Rosamund Pike was the only one.
Yeah, and I would say I think she's probably the best thing in the film.
Probably the best thing in it. But I think a real surprise is that it didn't get adapted screenplay, because Gillian Flynn, who wrote the novel, wrote the screenplay, and I think everyone agreed did a really bang up job on that. So. Adapted screenplay, original screenplay, interested in them?
Yeah, go for it.
Original screenplay, Boyhood, Birdman, Foxcatcher, Grand Budapest and Nightcrawler. That's quite a strong category, really.
I'd like to see Grand Budapest win it, I think.
Yeah, Yeah, I would say that's my favourite one in that one. And then adapted screenplay, American Sniper, Imitation Game, Inherent Vice, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. Cool that Whiplash, again, has been nominated in that one. Inherent Vice, I didn't understand a lot of it, so...
It's quite... Pynchon's kind of a hard novelist to adapt. It's kind of that classic, unadaptable novel.
Yeah.
So the fact that they even did it is probably worthy of a nomination.
Yeah, that's the achievement. The achievement is just doing it. Yeah. Best foreign language film, I've only seen one of these, but it's Ida, and if anyone gets the chance to see Ida, it's a Polish film. It's absolutely brilliant, one of the best films I saw last year. What about animated feature?
Should we get to the most controversial category of the 87th
You were
Academy
outraged,
Awards?
weren't you?
So I wasn't the only one.
Shall I read out the 5 animated films nominated? Big Hero 6, The Box Trolls, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Song of the Sea, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Well, somebody's having a laugh, aren't they, at the Academy? Is there
What's missing?
The Lego Movie.
The Lego Movie.
Because everything is awkward. It's kind of strange that it's not there. Is there some kind of... I don't know if maybe there's some rule about it having X amount of live action scenes. I can't imagine that ruling it out. I think it's predominantly animated.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a percentage thing.
Well, if there is, I don't think the filmmakers themselves... When we're recording this just after they come out, because Phil Lord's even tweeted a joke about it.
Yeah, there's quite a few jokes going around.
Yeah, he's made his own one out of Lego and said, it's okay, I don't need one. Yeah. So I think they were expecting to get nominated.
They thought they were eligible. Yeah. So it is seem, I like Big Hero 6. I think Big Hero 6 is great, entertaining, a lot of heart.
Yeah.
But I thought the Lego Movie was one of my favourite films of last year.
So those were kind of the big categories that we wanted to talk about. So let's take it back, finish off with Best Picture. What is your tip for Best Picture this year? What would you like to see win? What would you like to see win, and what do you think will win?
I would like to see either Birdman or Grand Budapest Hotel win. I think one of the quote-unquote more kind of Oscar-worthy fair films might win, so I'm looking at Theory of Everything, Chris Elmer.
Okay. For me, I'd like to see Whiplash or Grand Budapest Hotel, but I think it will be Boyhood.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe choice.
Cool, so that's your lot.
Yeah, so that's what we thought of the nominations for the 87th Academy Awards. We'll know the winners and losers on February 22nd. Do you agree with them? Who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments below. And for everything on movies, stay right here on IGN.